It is way beyond a pleasure to open up the floor to this incredible poet who sits in front of me. Daniel Philip Brady is a remarkable man for many reasons. I met him through Sacred Grounds Open Mic, which, by the way, is a community to die for. I have gotten so much support from that community. I consider it one of my home poetry communities. I'm going to read you a little bit about Dan, and then I have a tiny surprise for Dan. I hope you like it, Dan. Okay. Dan is a San Francisco poet, and that embodies so much about who he is, his flow, his rhythm, his energy, his thought, his motivation. He's a San Francisco boy, if ever the poet was, even though he's not a native. Dan loves to write. He says it's great fun, good for the heart, mind, and health. And he's fascinated by how words fit together, chime, rhyme, and flow from one to the next. He writes because he cannot be silent. How, he asks, can one be in this world? His secret sauce, in my opinion, for success includes the belief that the right set of words presented in the right setting is one of the ways civilization evolves. His work has been celebrated in numerous small press publications and contests, and he's been a featured poet at many events because his words are treasured. In fact, I want to tell you, I also co-host North Bay Poetics, which is a monthly Zoom. And Dan, they just asked me this week, is there any way I could get you to come back as a feature? They love you so much. That's the North Bay, and that's the phone. Okay. The expansive web of his poetry includes ties with Bay Area Poets Coalition, the Haiku Poets of Northern California, and he's led many workshops featured at venues in and around San Francisco. His Sacred Grounds open mic roots are very deep. More than 50 years old, this weekly open mic venue in San Francisco has provided spaces for hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of poets to share their work. And I bet everyone in this room has had a chance to do that. I see Mitch, who I first met through Sacred Grounds, and Richard, and it's just, the list goes on and on and on. His own poetry explores the formless as it becomes form. It is the art of channeling creation, making sense out of what is beyond sense, a calling as eternal as any answer that may come. And for that reason, he is a sought-out poet and friend and colleague and supporter and kind soul and all that other good stuff. So what I want to do before I bring Dan to the stage is I want to read one of his pieces. And this piece he wrote, this thing is doing here. This piece he wrote, I published at Frastic Folk Art, which is a quarterly journal of poets responding to high classic folk art images as opposed to fine artists, the roots of it, Frastic. And what I'm going to read you now is his response to a folk art image. And the image was a stenciled car, a car that had been stenciled, a contemporary car with lots of flowers, which makes it, modern folk art. And here's, I don't know if you remember it or not, Dan, it's just a beautiful piece, and it's so Dan, even the pacing. So I'm going to try to do justice to this poem. Well, it was my car, and all she needed was a set of tires and brake pads and a few other parts, some bodywork and clean. She is my cherished ride, and I am splurging on her for once. Anything to keep my little lady purring along. I waited for them to call me, but 10 days later I was anxious. And late in that day, I trudged on over, worrying all the way. And I got to say, I freaked when I did not see her on the lot. However, as it turned out, she was in plain sight, sort of. To this day, no one knows who gave her that wonderfully blue paint job with the silvery abstract floral design covering it. Sensational, I must say. We talked. I checked her over. I could tell all the work had been done. But no one knew anything about the paint job. I did like the color, a close match to her original, and it was a top job, as was the silvery design. But everyone was at a loss. You see, they had no record of the car being picked up, no paperwork for anything but what they'd done, and to the best of their knowledge, she'd been brought back before the shop opened that very morning. One of them had seen the car picked up and thought, I'd done it. I'm glad she's back. But she's no longer mine alone, that is. He just like pulled a rabbit out of a hat, like he tends to do. So Dan, my friend, I have a book of mine to give you just because I think you're swell. And then I'd like to bring you to the podium and you just take it from there, my friend. And the book is here. Sun and Moon Wired Together. It's one of my more recent. Love, I'll just put it here. Okay? Want me to put it with your stuff?
Yeah. That way I won't forget where I put it.
Okay.
I'll see it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wasn't that a great poem though, you guys?
Yeah.
Isn't
She
it the
did
best?
really well. She read it. You know, I would like to read like this. Is this okay?
Yeah.
Martin, do you want to check the sound? Is this
Can you
good?
hear okay?
Sound is good.
Okay,
You're a little
because
taller
I
than
can
she
read
is.
like this.
I just had to
also
zoom
read
back
like
on
this. I can also read like this. I can even read like this, but I won't. Not this time anyway. So, hello and thank you for that introduction. I'm glad that was taped. As they say in France, yes. All right, so I appreciate that. I'm just going to give an overview outline. There's going to be haiku. There's going to be a song and music and newish pieces of a sort, because probably I could read things here that other people have heard, but you'll say, I never heard that one. There. So here we go. Ahem. That's not the song. Now I have to acquire my instrument here. I've been playing harmonica since like 15 years old or something like that. I got to tell you a very quick story, very, very quick. I got a harmonica. It was in the key of C. You can't play E, F, D, B flat with a C harmonica. I didn't know that, so I thought I didn't know how to play a harmonica for beans. However, recently I learned that was the case. Okay, let me see. Okay, let me just. Okay, here we go. So the song is a historical song. I like singing historical songs. I'm going to play the harmonica a little bit, sing the song, and finish with a flourish if I can do that without making too many mistakes. Here we go. Historical references here, beware. Get you a copper kettle, get you a copper coil, fill it with new-made corn mash, and never more you shall toil. You'll just lay there by the juniper, while the moon is bright. Watch them jugs a-fillin' in the pale moonlight. Build you a fire with hickory, ash, or oak. Don't use no green or rotten wood, they'll get you by the smoke. As you lay there by the juniper, while the moon is bright, watch them jugs a-fillin' in the pale moonlight. My daddy, he brewed whiskey, great-great-granddaddy, he did too. Our family ain't paid no whiskey tax since 1792. We just lay there by the juniper while the moon is bright. Watch them jugs a fillin' by the pale moonlight. And I go back. So I first heard that song, I think it was Joan Baez sang it on an album somewhere along the line, but I could be wrong. So, thank you, that's music, a little bit of song. I've been doing this with poetry. I play the songs, play the music, sing the song. That gets everybody's attention. They go, oh, something's happening. And then I throw the words out. But you're an especially wonderful audience. So I'm going to begin with haiku. And my haiku is not like the ordinary haiku, but some of them are. Anyway, if you know them, you'll know the difference. And if you don't, it's okay. Here we go. Sometimes, when dreaming of the future, I can almost see it. And I wish I was blind. These two are from the ancestors here. Ancestors laughing. What's the joke? I ask. They stop, look at me, and laugh. Ancestor says, time never stays still. Other ancestor says, thank God. Enough of them ancestors here. Oh, this is an advisement. It's a truism, or for those people who like truisms. When it comes to tomorrow, everybody's a beginner. And this is for poets out there. Just when are you not creating thoughts that then become things? It's just simple. Oh, this is a kind of a Zen question here. Simple question. If your heart is in the right place, where else would you rather be? And this is a, thank you very much. That haiku appreciates it. This is I guess this is Zen, or maybe it's Buddha, I don't know, you'll see. How far can you go when everywhere you go, it's you? Maybe you won't like that, but you know. Involves my wife of many years, and it's a true poem, haiku that was written at the time, and it happened, or very soon after, or maybe before. She may or may not remember this, but I think she. At the stroke of 12, singing her happy birthday, couldn't wait any longer. I mean, you know, it's like, it is the birthday, and you told me to wait. It's 12:01. Oh, this is for those people who think about death from time to time. The last thing you'll know is the unexpected, expected in hindsight. And you think, had I only known what you're dead. Oh, sorry. Okay. So this takes a bit of a trigger warning. Tommy wrote something or read something somewhere, and later on this came to mind, so thank you. Old, asleep, on the bench, coughs, gargly, hard, frosty breath stops. Things like that. This one I've read a few times, and I love it because it's historical, has that taint. Smoky battlefield. Corpses strewn. A medallion's glint. The long justice of silence. And this is for those open mic people here who are. Sometimes at an open mic, 5 minutes is an eternity. And this is the counterplay to that. At an open mic, you get everything from "oh my God" to "oh my." And this is a science fiction novel in a haiku. Anybody is free to use this. I've said this many times. I don't know if anybody's ever taken me up on it, but you can make it a short story. It'll be a great movie. Just listen. At the back fence, looking at the moon, she says, "You know, Jupiter's in the wrong place." And just so you don't, I have to mention the Trump thing. And it's a trigger warning. You know, I really look forward to hear of Trump's last words. Not what they are, but this one. Yeah, that was the last one. I don't understand. He was gargling or something. Anyway, so now I'm going into the poems section, some short ones here. This one was inspired by a bunch of little word magnets that fell off out of the bucket as I was trying to put them on the, and as I was picking them up, they were a Shakespearean set. So this is Puzzled Words of Love. Ahem. Always forswear slander, wicked envy, vehemence, or to deceive, nor let dire discontent torment and tempt you. Wherefore, when you doth thus sanctify your manner, saying farewell to poisonous melancholies, mortals strike at one's bosom. Methinks myself we thus bestow love unto our very dreams, bringing to a merry grace, light jest, and measured mercy. Friend, never therefore yield the fair breast, but vouchsafe it in full, lest death shall thine only lover be. Watch out for that. It's dangerous. And this one's more modern. It's also short. I like these short ones sometimes. That's on time. Time comes and goes almost unnoticed, unremarkable, except for the changes we seem to think go along with it. What a strange concept, which is to say, untrue. So much so that we'd have to invent the concurrence for our own sakes as well as that of others. Magicians use this feat all the time. And we, the duped, ever and always, find no end of fascination with what they have us see. Truth be damned. It's political. Not having anybody in particular in mind. Now, this one was written with a friend of mine. We decided to write a line by line, and I changed it significantly, so now I can't give her credit anymore because it's really changed. But it's called Death and Ode. This cold kiss, most desirous and dizzy, the finished flesh lay still and gray, falls off the bone. The skeleton, a trophy of scars. Its mask, dark sockets stare, a wide smile, grinning, jaws locked. If you're afraid of that, that might be a reason. I'm going to go into a political thing, and please keep me post time because I'm totally.
You got about 5 minutes left, so don't worry about it. Just
Okay.
float.
So, heather is the title. Heather is a plant sometimes. Let me start again. Heather is a plant, something common enough, but useful, even valued, for healing, for cleansing, refreshing one's living space. Something to be found in the cold wastes of winter, forage that shows itself above the frigid drifts, and so provides a lifeline to those in need. It takes hold in difficult ground, survives fire, thriving in its aftermath. But it is also a name which, as any name does, affects its human, imbuing them with its qualities, whether they know it or not. It is sentimental, for example, white heather being given for bridal luck. And so it is that in Miss Hyer's case, that her name proved itself in her feet. When she walked the walk that day, but innocently, for all that, she did not see it coming, even at the very last. And when she lay broken, her passion spreading on display, not in pain, having gone on before such good register, it was because all her life she'd found ways to make a difference for others. And so it was that by leaving this world as she did, she continued on for others in a way she could respect. So those are the different things. Now, I want to read one that's special for us, and I wanted to, I sometimes, is that okay?
Oh, you want to be,
Yeah.
okay.
All right. I just, because I was going to ask you before and I didn't think about it, so that's my bad. This was written during the George W. Bush reign of error. That's not my piece of humor, but somebody else's. November Idol. You'll probably remember. Yeah, okay. In November, the bright days sometimes come to surprise those who thought summer was done. For these days are as warm and just as bright, belying painters who see winter's light. Oblique over the pond, it catches to glow on myriads soft in breezes that blow. Some of the trees are now barren and spare, ready for the cold snap. They etch the air. Slowly we walk and intimate confer, while startling ducks into the water. Displaced, discomforted, they settle with a quack or waggle of the tail. We laughed, not ours, not our regulars, those ones there. Ours, knowing us, would want to be fed or stare, or if resting, when we passed them by, they'd stay quite still, but with an open eye. Though they'd move if a dog or child made an approach, either loud or wild. As neighbors, they know us, as we do they. We saw their ducklings and watched them turn gray. But as we walk slowly around our pond, a quiet kind of reverie of which we're fond, then a jack-o'-lantern left near the walk, moldering in decay, waylays our talk. We stopped, peered in to see it set there on leaves and brambles. It gave back a stare. I wondered if its seeds were in their prime and if we'd find some wild pumpkins sometime. Then rounding the curve, we passed it from its view. At last we spoke, and then we spoke of May and its promises too. Oh, the web we weave when first we do dream of a young year with its end yet unseen. When the spring runs down well in its tiny bed, and we barely thought of leaves turning red, and take the scent of grass the gardener mows as mosquito fish schooled themselves in the shallows. With fanciful thoughts we rounded our pond in the winter coats and hats we donned. Once tall, green, the browning reeds now break. Well, we had our last slow rounding to make. Along the high path that took us away, abreast and arms about, we walked that day. Then came a bluster with a quickening chill as clouds suddenly overtopped the hill. We knew that the wind had changed direction, bringing chiller days of introspection. There will be both briefer and colder as well, and bring us up short if we'd let their spell. Then a glint in her glance, my wry little miss, we paused on the path, we gentled a kiss. We prefer our seasons as we take this air, the warmth of summer in the breath that we share. Rosy and florid, her cheeks meeting mine, our sanctuary discreet, sublime. 'Neath the bower of leaves turning their shades, we passed out of view within love's serenades. That's beauty.
Two more, and then I'd like one for the road.
Okay, two more, one for the okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
That was beautiful, man.
Okay. A classic, would-be classic here. This was inspired while I was sitting in the bathroom at San Francisco State. The poem came to mind, and well, it was misunderstood. But I didn't talk to the people at all. I just Ode to Pee. Bless this water that once passed through me. Bless this water on its way to the wine dark sea. May this water catch a moonbeam's glint just so to shimmer in the eyes of a beauty's ardent face aglow. Bless it in all the waters with which it flows and blends. Bless it and all the air in which its mingling vapor ascends. By this means, bless the seven winds which carry it over the seven seas to mountains, farmlands, every hill and dale, and into coastal bogs where it will precipitate trees. Nor forget sunset where its gleaming prison catches the sovereign's blazing rainbow hues, or in the moon's silvery light, plays it at the pinnacle of our atmosphere to cast a eerie shadow, an eerie halo of high, austere icy.
Wow.
Bless this water that once was I, that once was a part of my heart, mind, and eye. Bless the water from the one cup we share. Bless the passing of excess to spare. Yes, blessings pour, each drop from the sky, to clothe the world in the greenery we aspire. Forever a river flows through us within. Thus do I offer unto thee this overly written ode. Okay, this is an affirmation, then I'll do a close, right?
Do an affirmation, do one more short one and save the,
Oh, okay.
we'll do one for the
Okay.
road after the open mic.
Okay, so I'll do this one.
And then do one more.
Okay, all right, three. This was written at a workshop at CONCASAM, a cooperative house development, cooperative living home that has a Sufi tradition as its heart. And we did a sort of a creative writing thing there from time to time. And this approximation of friendship was one of the things that I produced in that. Making one honestly true blue dragon would be amazing enough. But if your homework was to make a whole darn universe full of them, well, you would need help. But a wizard couldn't do it. You need a god, to whom this would be not so much. It would be like something simple. Unto the movement of a sand grain, tiny and unseen, inadvertently swept over the doorsill, God's, not yours. Where it would become affixed to the pink goo on a lost watermelon seed that had been lying there in the dappled shade of the infinite back porch of God's place. And although it had its story, might go on and on, that's not this one. Your phantom crisis would thus come to an end, and your head could settle down on your fluffy pillow, all comfy cozy, whereupon you'd snuggle into sleep. Sweet dreams would go a-dancing in your head, and your heart would ease into wonderful serenity. Oh, you know. Okay, so a last one, yes.
Yeah, and then we'll do a one for the road afterwards. So save one for that, please.
Okay, so this is an affirmation. You are not broken. How could that be? How? Your soul, limitless, knows no bounds, cannot be harmed in any manner, cannot be taken from you, made a victim of shame. It is forever yours. It is never apart from you, always perfect, always safe, no matter what. You are not broken. You are whole, wonderful, unique, a gift to life, and life's gift to eternity and back again. As such, you can never be separated from the great happiness that is sorrowless. 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 You, a light in this world inextinguishable, has always been, are, and ever will be. You are not broken. How could that be? Not broken by their words, not broken by their looks or faces, their claims, their names, their ignorance, their dissonance, shaming, uncertainty, cruelty. You are not broken. You are well, a wellspring. You are a voice, a song of the soul. You shine. You go. You are not broken.
Wow.
Thank you. So, let me get organized here. This was written maybe 15 years ago, something like that. And I really can't remember how it came about. The title is Jazz Solo. And I think the words, I heard, and then the rest followed. Here we go. And I have to follow along with my fingers because that's wild. Jazz Solo. I mean to say jazz solo. Jazz is from the moment that it is to the moment that it was. Is. Dig? See, I know I can scat like a cool cat to be where it's at and go beep-it-bop, beep-bop, bip-bop, bip, zip, zip, dip, 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 ding, ding, ding. But being up here on the stage, scooping up something off this page, I mean to say this is for you, not for me, see? And I could be talking out of my hat and not be all that, so I'll make my anthem smooth and uplifted till your soul is light and drifted up into that clear cerulean sky, and the Lord himself parts those clouds and says, my, that good old boy can talk it on the fly. But to get back to it, jazz, you see, this poor narrator can hardly hope to give you its meaning without seeming dope, without saying those things that someone else has said, because I don't want to be demeaning or talking out of my head, but I can ask you, real slow, ask you if you know what it is that mixes up heat, beat, and beguile, what blends enchantment and soul with style. And you better keep in mind that you best beware if you're at, because Mama ain't never allowed no double talk up in here, and that's just about that. See, it's an honest space, a spree space, a space of space so spacious that My gracious, I'd like to go on, but I couldn't begin to cast the spell. See, so you out there listening will have to listen really well. Some of you see my point already. My disguise is thin. I'll try to for you anyway to make it a win-win. And I know you know that you all want to go 8 miles high, hip-hopping over the globe so fly, making it here, making it there. At the same time, you wonder where. I know you know what it's talking about isn't just chance or the drummer's chops breaking up the dance or the brass and the strings beating up their things while the singer takes loose lets loose a tale or real sorry tale, even if it's only an idiot signifying nothing or being like me, kind of pale. But what gliding on the moonlight does, what swimming in the ancient sea was, what dream drifting in a daze is, what floating like into a haze is. Jazz, the sound heard everywhere. You carry it when you hum soft air. I mean, this is jazz with a capital J or with all caps all the way. And you can be skinny or playing it fat. And sometimes it strains over the old Hazarat or colors up the cumulus clouds high over volley or gleams like Xanadu's mirage as you blink back tears from the shimmering light on the Rub al-Khali. It whispers over the Solomons in Bangalore. Echoes through the Rift Valley. It covers the great Pacific shore. It is the wavering light on Tut's pyramids, the Transamerica, or the Notre Dame spires. It's the sound of this age, and everywhere it conspires. So, when you hear it, when I hear it, it's the bee's bees, the cat's PJs with the drunken jackass fill the pants full of fleas. Ships at the sea roll with the scroll. Clouds surmount the mountains in the cold, and everything is getting old. But jazz is what it is from the moment that it was now. To get back to it, think of everything you've ever heard, every dream you've ever tasted, and give me the word, just so it's not about the makeups and breakups, moo and the moon, the ancestral chains, or the myriad of mystified braids, just so it's not the blank look on every stranger's face, the disguise of the ordinary, a cut to the chase, the wrinkle in reality, the lovelorn thing, the changing times of nothing changing, and the sense of it all being one bright thing. Nope. It is not ordinary, not in the least. And that's what I mean about jazz. It's an ever-loving feast. I mean jazz with a capital J. Then toss in some laughter, because jazz is what it is and everything that comes after.
Wow.
Thank you.